of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Good evening and welcome to an A.H.A.D moment of calm before the storm. Your host, Minister A.H.A.D. With me today, we have Lord Holy-Apostle Deen Saleem, partner, Brother Factor Aziz, and we're missing the other half of our four-man crew, Holy Queen Mother
half. Wow, that means me and you and him is just really small.
We're good. The four-man crew. Holy Queen Mother Saleem. As you can see, we always have fun in this program. You know, Ahezaah is merciful to us, man, and give us life, being the company of the messenger. Those that are in the audience, may Ahezaah's peace and other blessings about your presence. Those here and those in the television watching this program. One of the great blessings of Ahezaah is that Ahezaah gives us so much of his wisdom, you know, expressed through this man here, Holy Apostle Deen, and it gives us that we can apply them to our life. One thing we discussed, you know, prior to coming to the show is about how life's trials, life's experiences, how Allah, everything it gives down in the book of wisdom, the Quran, is truth. When it said that I would try you with everything that you have, with your spouse, your children, you know, things that you draw near to yourself. And even when it said that don't say you believe and won't be tested or tried. And people many times read those verses in the Quran and don't really make it relative to themselves in the fact that Allah tries everything of His creation, and that the only thing to be worshipped is it. And then that many times that we associate partners with Allah, most of us consciously, many people some unconscious, but they do it not knowing that there's a great trial even in that, in coming near to the Lord Most High, and that if you associate anything with it, they say we'll forgive any sin except for that one, associating partners with it. So when people watch this program, they think about that as we go forth in our lives and our walk with the Lord, or seeking to walk with it, being near to it. And as we discuss it here, you know, if you have questions in the audience, you can chime in, throw them out there. You know, Holy Apostle, Brother Fakir.
Well, the first thing, you got to get together about that half thing.
Okay.
People know that you can count. You know it's not a
it's
half.
It's 4 of
right?
us, yeah.
So that's what?
A quarter of our...
Thank you. Okay. I just got to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
Just smooth that right over. So we be having fun up here, but I can't count. No, but on a serious note, one of the things that people do is they take Allah for granted, first of all.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest mistakes we make as people, as human beings, is taking Ahezaah for granted. It is the unseen, therefore we kind of like dismiss it.
Right.
You know, we never associate the wind, you know, the atmosphere that we breathe, the water. We never, you know, we kind of tend to not associate that with it. We associate that with life as saying life is apart from it, which life is it. You understand? Right. It being the reality of life, you know. And the other thing is, many people don't even know what associating, you know, things with the Lord is.
Right.
You know, they misunderstand that particular saying, you know, it won't forgive you for associating things with it, because people think associating something with it is like associating the messengers with it. Right. You understand? See, we associate the messages with it, and we associate people with it. We associate all creation with it.
Right.
But we don't raise those things in association as equal or even being like it.
Right.
You see? Yes. So that's what we have to clear up.
Right.
That it says it will not forgive you for raising something as an equal to it.
Right.
And associating its creation, its illusion with its real being. Because that's what people do. They associate things like kings, presidents, you know, people they honor, people they fear, you know, things they love. They associate that as a real power.
Right.
When everything is really an illusion to the real, because there's only one pure power. There's only one real power in all of life. And it lends that power to its creation to give it life,
Right.
you know, to give us life from it.
Right.
That's what makes it the real and the reality of us.
Right.
You know? And then when we say reality, then people have to understand that the it is the small part, the units
Right.
that's broken up from the whole.
Right.
You know, like when we come with that itty bitty, that's where that
Right.
word comes from. Itty bitty is from the real itty, the real smaller
Right.
things, you know, that it creates.
But our own personal selves, you know, our personal makeup, our individual personalities, great trial too. We talked about the wind and all those things that we outside, but our own illusions of being independent, of having a power onto ourselves.
Right.
We go through this day, minute after minute, you know, throughout the time, almost always in a state of associating ourselves and our capacity to be with, you know, as equal to a God.
Well, what we have a tendency to do as human beings, we have a tendency to forget that it is that L is the of everything. The definite article, the definite essential being, the real thing in all things. We have a tendency to forget that and think that we real, that we are independent and have our own life, our own real choices. We can't get past that free will thing because we've been tricked to think that that free will belongs to us, when free is the Lord L, which we always say,
Right.
and the will is power. And when Allah says you have free will to do what you do, it's saying you have me to do what you do. You have it. You have the free power.
Right.
The freeze power. See, the language that we speak, the normal language that we speak, is a corrupt language.
Right.
You know, and many things that we say as like as a definite statement should not be definite towards the thing that we're talking about, but it should be definite towards the thing which is the creator that manifests or make that other thing be. Just like we say the house. In reality, we should say the's house. But if we don't understand that the word El in Al in Arabic, El in Hebrew, you know, just like we say As-Salam, the Salam,
Right.
you know, Ar-Rahman, the merciful,
Right.
you know, Ash-Shakur, the Shakur.
Right.
You know, if we don't understand that we're saying that this thing is the definite thing that we're talking about, then we lose sight of what really is happening, what we really talking about. You know? So if I say, yeah, I'm going to the's house, you say, what you mean the's house? I'm going to the Lord's house, the
Right.
one that I live in.
Right.
Because everything belongs to it, but because of our corrupt language, we lose sight just by speaking.
Yeah.
We speak falsely. We don't speak truly. We speak falsely when we identify something with ourselves or other things other than the Lord itself. So now, in the divine language, when we write out things, we explain those things. Well, who will use the divine language in the general conversation? Because as soon as you start using the divine language in general conversation, people want to look at you wrongfully, and strange, and think that something wrong with you.
Yeah. I know we took a simple statement on previous shows before, how we say like the word good
Mm-hmm.
is the Lord itself.
It's the Lord
We
itself.
say good morning
Mm-hmm.
or good evening or
Mhm.
different things, but once you're hearing that, I know morning is always connected with some type of death or something
Mhm.
of that.
Mm-hmm.
But not hearing or even with the hello, hell is low, but nobody connect. Because people used to laugh. You said, when you mentioned Elijah before, was breaking these things down.
Yeah.
The command of Allah. He's showing these things. And people say, oh man, you connect science up on everything, or you make everything, but it does.
Yeah, but you need to. You need
Right.
to, just like you said, good morning. You know, that's an incomplete statement in reality.
Right.
You know, because the word morning do come from morning. You're mourning what? You're mourning the death. I'm come good back from the morning. from the dead.
Yeah, right.
Because I hate sleeping. Some people love sleeping.
Right.
I hate sleeping because that takes me away from my mental awareness of my Lord.
Right.
You know, and I'm thankful that when I have a dream or nightmare, it brings a consciousness to me where I can relate to it and ask it for help in my sleeping state.
Right.
But how many people practice and meditate and contemplate so much so with this self-hypnosis, you know, auto-suggestion to get them to remember the Lord even in their sleep? You know? See, we don't spend a lot of time as human beings. We don't spend a lot of time trying to remember the Lord Most High. We spend a lot of time trying to remember the things of this world. Therefore, we get trapped and caught up in the things of this world. If I'm going to get caught up in something, please allow me to get caught up in the reality.
Yeah.
You know, because if I get caught up too far on the right of that, it will take care of me.
Right.
And bring me back.
It's something.
Give me that balance.
The balance, yeah. I know you expressed something to us, man. Like I said previously, you know how we were saying, bathe ourselves, baptize ourselves in the Lord's words, back to remembrance or reminding of ourselves that when Allah speaks about that, those remember me much. Reclining, sitting, all these positions outside of the normal ritualistic forms or modes of prayer, but people don't always take into account. Or even the Son of Allah said when He established for Juma. Once you leave that, once you leave your business aside, you call back, but take that remembrance once you go back into the world again as part of your remembrance or your service to me. But nobody connects those things, how the Lord is always essential. It's the essential thing needed in our life that we're constantly always forgetting. Allah said it so clearly in the Quran, man is ever forgetful. Forget the Lord over and over again. So we have to, like you said, that self-hypnosis or that process we have to do to remember it. Or as we walk in our daily life with it, making it personable to ourselves is what's really needed. I think about religion all the time. And I hear people say, well, religion don't work. I say, because they never really tried the Lord and His words for real. If it don't work, they want instantaneous, like the society is now, so microwave, everything is fast, and the Lord don't work in your time. Or do you think it should work? I need this now, Lord, and bless me with this now. You know, come see, I know that prayer don't work, or I know this don't work. No, it works.
Coach, but in our minds, what is more instantaneous in doing things in everything that you do, and remembering how He's been attributing it to you? That's as instantaneous as you can get at this point. You know?
Well, you know, we should probably call this show Correct Language. Because, see, one of the things we continuously do here, even in our conversation, is use incorrect language.
Right.
Like you said, people, when they get away from, you know, their business and what have you, and they go to the Juma, and then, you know, they're supposed to take off from their business and and remember the Lord most and so forth and so on. But in reality, what is business? Business is busyness.
Right.
Why should you stop your busyness?
Right.
Your busyness should always be with Allah, with Ahezaah, with A.H.A.D. You should always be busy with A.H.A.D. no matter what you're doing.
Right.
So you shouldn't take off from your busyness to go to Juma. You should continue your busyness. But your busyness should be in the busyness of remembering and serving and bowing down and worshiping the Lord all the time. Regardless of what you're doing. If you're doing something for self-preservation to survive in society, you still should be busy in your busyness with remembrance of the Lord. Your busyness and your service into the society should be for A.H.A.D.
That's right.
So when you take off from your busyness, that's wrong. You should never take off from your busyness. Your busyness should be righteous, as to where you would never want to stop your busyness with the Lord A.H.A.D. That's why when I was going to Juma with those Muslims that I used to be associated with, I never missed a beat. Because I took the Spirit of Allah with me to the Juma. And I left with Allah's Spirit. Right. And that's why when I would walk into the Juma, I realized, wait a minute, there's devils in here. There's not just the doers of evil among the people, but there's spirits that's not right in here. I could pinpoint them.
Right.
And some people think once you walk into the masjid, temple, synagogue, with it, all the devils stay out. Just like the brothers say, Allah don't relate to you in the bathroom. The angels won't come in your house if there's a dog in there. All that's lies.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How you going to impede Allah? Oh, it's angels. People don't even know what his angels are. You ask a Muslim, what's an angel? Oh, it's a creation of Allah that's created of light. Pure light. And? And? That's it. Oh, that's because that's all Allah said to you about it in the Holy Quran.
Right.
But see, here it goes again. We forget that Allah called us to it. People put their priests, their ministers, imams, sheikhs, and so forth and so on, popes and everything else in between them and the Lord Most High. And they think that they all right with the Lord because they listening to this man.
Right.
That's why people like myself don't call you to me. The Prophet Muhammad and Jesus, none of them, they called you to themselves. They called you to Allah. Because they didn't want to be that object that impeded your progress to the Lord Most High. But you got people now honoring their sheikhs and imams, letting their sheikhs and imams do evil, following them, bombing up people, killing the innocent, doing everything against the spirit of the holy books. Christians killing Muslims, Muslims killing Hindus, Hindus killing Buddhists, Buddhists killing Jews, so forth and so on and so on. In the name of what? All I'm saying is in the name of God, their God. Okay, your God now. Now you possess God. That's like me saying, I'm doing this in the name of my Allah. My Ahezaah. I own it.
But you have people that say that.
I know.
Give them my salam.
That's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. They're using the language incorrectly. See, if you use the language, if that's like you going on a journey. I said, look, I want you to go here and I want you to take care of this business for me. Now, here's the way you get there. I give you a map. Then I give you a vehicle. I said, you need this vehicle. Okay. You sit down in the vehicle. You don't like the vehicle. You don't like the way the vehicle looks. You don't like the way people are looking at you in this vehicle. This vehicle is odd. Okay, but, you smile as though you really with me, and you go on. Huh? But because of your deceit, you misplaced the map. Now, you saying, well, I remember what he said. I could go this way. Huh? And you go, and then you have all kinds of problems, but you realize one thing. I ain't got the map. I'm kind of lost, but I thank Allah for this vehicle. Man, this vehicle working out because I needed this kind of vehicle here. But you lost and you can't get to where you're going. And then all of a sudden you start being dissatisfied with the vehicle. Because it's associated with me. Well, that's what people do with the Holy Quran and other holy books of the Lord. They misappropriate or misuse those things, and then they become disheartened with them and start looking at them negatively, and then they hold the Lord in disdain.
Right.
Then they start believing in something else because somebody brought them something with more ease to get to. And they think that's better. So they shun their trials and they go for the ease. The Lord said, if you follow me, if you surrender to me, I will give you this at the end of the journey. They said, well, I don't want to wait till in the journey. I can get this right now. Birds in the hand. A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush.
Right.
That's the devil's word, ain't it? If Allah say get those two in the bush, I don't even want the one in the hand. I'm going for the ones in the bush. And I'm going to ask you, how do I get them? What do I need to do to attain them? How many people get up in the morning and say, oh Lord, guide me and show me the way that I should be in the life that you give me? Oh Lord, have mercy on me and cause me to remember that I belong to you and this day belongs to you and everything about it belongs to you. And bless me to walk in your way so that I don't anger you. You got people that cannot go outside the box of the prayers that's in their holy book.
Yeah.
Why? because they're not thinking for themselves. They're not thinking freely, meaning they're not thinking in the way of the free. So they get locked in. But it's a mercy that the Lord calls us to remember it and tell people make the call of prayer at least 5 times a day. And whatever, or tell the people of the path before. That's a mercy. One of our problems is we rather go with people who do not believe in the righteous way. Like Ahezaah says, be of those who believe as you believe. It said that in the name of Allah in the Holy Quran. Be of those who believe as you believe. Believe righteously. Believe faithfully. Surrender yourselves to me in belief. To it. In belief. It tells you all the righteous ways through wisdom how to be. And then it tells you to be with people like that. But people, with their misconception or misunderstanding of language, they say, well, Allah said, be with people like myself. Huh?
That's what they, yeah.
And then they go and you see them with people that is like themselves. Like sometimes my family members come to me and they be upset about different things that's going on. And I said, well, look at those people out in the world. You see how they are. So remember Allah, because none of us is perfect. We all need the perfect for our salvation. They say, well, look at this person with that person, that. Well, don't say nothing about that. Because Allah said for them to be with those who believe as they believe. Do you know how they believe? They may be with the people that is exact in their belief. And then they telling you that they believe another way, but you see them with other people, so that's telling you something. Don't get angry. Tell them what Allah said for you to do. To be of your way and I be of mine. Huh? You can't make a person believe. You can force them to act like they believe, but you can't make them believe. Because belief comes from a point that you cannot touch. Only the Lord Most High and its appointed angels can touch those places. Notice I said appointed angels. Because all the angels cannot touch you in the way that you might think they can. Because angels have limitations. Angels are under the command of Allah. And if you don't believe it, look at Satan. Satan is an angel. If it wasn't contained by Allah, what would happen to the whole of humanity? We'd be much worse than we are right now. If we were alive. Because it don't care about us. It will take us out completely if it could. But it's contained by Allah. It has its limitations. See, the thing about Allah, the thing about Ahezaah what's so beautiful is that nothing affects it. It has nothing to hinder it. It has nothing to judge it. It's just pure power. It does whatever it wants to do. And those things that seem great to us is nothing to it. In the blink of an eye, it can get rid of everything that's created. And create it anew. Huh? You think the angels are on high sitting up saying, yeah, I'm greater than you? No, because if they were sitting up there talking about they greater than you, they'd be down there with Satan. That's how Satan got the way he at.
Got the way, that's right.
No, Ahezaah said, oh no, you think what? I'm going to show you something. Beneath the foot of the righteous among mankind. Satan hates us.
Oh yeah.
You know?
It's amazing, man. You know, even this conversation Allah has given us, you know, how what Ahezaah is doing with this truth, how those who are listening, or, you know, sitting up here, myself included, how Ahezaah dispels a lot of the falsehood as it brings forth with his wisdom. Dispelling a lot of the beauty of Ahezaah.
Yeah.
Dispelling these things because people many times watch our program, even sitting here, may have questions, and Ahezaah, as the conversation go on, it start answering things that they know, that we may know, that we have opinion, that we never voice it. And Allah said, answer boom. And it goes in the order, and it goes in the order and how we think. And people say, somebody you may say, do you have a question? Now people may sit back
Right.
if they're not fearful. I had one, but then
Right.
you got to
Yeah.
answer in the
Well,
conversation.
well, beauty-
Oftentimes you've had one, and Ahezaah has answered your questions, you know, as you sit there and you sit and listen. You know?
Well,
So-
you know, we, you know, as a mercy from the Lord Most High, we are lent in its service, and it blesses us as though we're doing something ourselves. You know,
Right.
that we do something for it, but we're not do anything for what we do because it is the doer of everything that's done through us.
Right.
You know, and the thing about it, what you experience, I'm quite sure people out in the world experience that we don't see through these lenses.
Right.
But the thing about it is, yes, I'm the messenger of Allah. But the power, the truth of me is that it's Allah's message, and it's the only one that can deliver its message truly.
Right.
So it's the one that's speaking, but we don't go into those levels to tell people yes, because they'll say, oh, he think he's Allah. But I don't think I'm Allah. I know I'm Allah. They said, did you hear what he said? Well, I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I know that I am. Now, you have many people that run around and say, I'm Allah, but they don't know that they're Allah. They be the devil. How do I know? Knowing is knowledge. Knowledge is experience. I'm experiencing that Allah is manifesting through me. I am not the self that I once knew of myself because I have no control of that. That man died. I had to do this show today. I have other things that I had in mind to do that I would like to be doing right now. But I can't do those things. Why? Because I, the great I, is making me do this show. Now, to some people it might be like, you know, a little game I'm playing, but this is no game. This is my life. This is real.
Right.
This is Allah's manifestation. So the messengers of Allah, the prophets of Allah, are only signs of Allah. Allah is the messenger. Allah is the prophet. Allah is the one that says the thing is going to be and then make it be.
Right.
It is the real of my reality. And in my reality, I am it, and it is myself, yet I can never be it in totality. But all that I know of me is it. I know nothing of myself to be anything else. You know?
I do something, man. It's crazy, you know.
I was thinking of the lesson.
Well, we got a
I see
minute,
the side,
right?
yeah, but well, hold your thought, brother. You know, continue on to kind of, to those who have not new or that are watching, we pray Allah bless you, continue to catch the second half of this conversation. We thank you for tuning in. May the Lord bless you, continue to
want
watch.
to do things right, to keep up with keeping your lives tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you